Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm Mia.
And I'm Daniel.
Today, we're covering emergency survival English, calling for help, describing what's happening clearly, and a set of essential phrases for medical emergencies, safety threats, and getting lost.
Just a quick note before we start. This episode focuses purely on language and communication, not on medical or safety training itself. Always follow official safety guidance and local emergency procedures wherever you are.
Imagine you're walking down a beautiful, busy street in a foreign country.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Right. You're enjoying the sights, maybe holding a cup of coffee, the sun is shining, and then suddenly your friend collapses right next to you.
Oh, wow. That is terrifying.
It really is. The crowd stops, your mind just goes completely blank.
Yeah.
I mean, in your native language, you'd know exactly what to do, right? You'd shout for help, you'd grab your phone, and the words would just pour out of you perfectly.
Yeah, without even thinking about it.
Exactly. But in English, panic sets in. And that is why today we are building your emergency vocabulary. Welcome to this deep dive.
I'm really glad we're doing this one.
Me too. And we're going to slow things down today, speak clearly and carefully because we are focusing on emergency survival English.
That's exactly right. We're going to learn the essential life-saving phrases you need when you have to, call for help or handle a medical emergency.
Right.
Or even deal with a safety threat, or just when you're completely lost in a new city after dark.
Yeah, which happens to all of us. Now, before we really dive in, I need to share a very clear disclaimer.
Yes, very important.
We are focusing purely on language and communication today. We're teaching you English vocabulary. We aren't giving you official medical training, and we are not giving you official safety training. You must always follow the local emergency procedures and safety rules wherever you are in the world.
Yes, that is vital to remember. We're here to give you the vocabulary, the exact words you need to communicate clearly when things go wrong, and you need local authorities to step in.
Okay, let's unpack this. I like to think about these English phrases like a mental fire extinguisher.
Oh, I like that analogy.
You know what a fire extinguisher is, right?
Yeah.
That heavy red tank on the wall that puts out fires.
Right, yeah.
You hope you never, ever have to use it. But if a fire suddenly starts in your kitchen, you don't want to be reading the instruction manual for the very first time while the flames are growing.
No, definitely not.
You want to know exactly how to use it automatically without thinking.
And that's because in stressful, urgent moments, your brain is just filled with adrenaline and panic.
Oh, yeah.
Searching for the right English words in your head, well, it costs valuable time. And in an emergency, time is the single most important resource you have.
Absolutely. So the goal today is to make these specific phrases automatic in your memory.
Right.
So let's start with the most common reaction to an emergency. Usually the very first thing we do is pull out a smartphone to call professionals.
Yeah, whether that's 911 in the United States or 999 in the UK or 112 in Europe.
Exactly.
Ooh.
But what exactly do you say when the emergency operator actually answers the phone?
Well, the ideal way to open that call is with one clear sentence that delivers two critical pieces of information.
Okay, what are they?
What you need and what is happening. So the structure goes like this. You say, I need an ambulance. My friend has collapsed and isn't responding.
Okay, let's break that vocabulary down for our listeners. So I need an ambulance. An ambulance, of course, is an emergency medical vehicle. And then my friend has collapsed. We use the word collapse when someone suddenly falls to the ground, usually because of a severe health issue.
Yeah, their legs just sort of give out.
Right. And finally, isn't responding. This means they aren't moving, they aren't talking, or, opening their eye.
Exactly. That sentence immediately gives the operator exactly what they need to act quickly. And once you say that, the operator will immediately ask for your location.
Right, they need to know where to send the help.
And there is a very specific strategy here. You should give a specific address plus a visible landmark.
Oh, a landmark. Let's explain what a landmark is.
Go for it.
A landmark is something large, permanent, and easy to see from the street. So like a famous building, a big statue, or maybe a brightly colored shop.
Yeah.
So you might say to the operator, we're at 42 Baker Street, right outside the coffee shop on the corner.
And what's fascinating here is the reason that landmark is so helpful. I mean, an exact address is great for a GPS system, but giving a landmark helps human emergency responders find you much faster when they arrive in the neighborhood.
Because they're just looking out the window of the ambulance.
Exactly. They might be unfamiliar with the precise street numbers on that specific block, But anyone driving an ambulance can instantly spot the coffee shop on the corner?
That is a great tip. Now, the operator is probably going to ask you some medical questions while you wait, right?
Yes, they will. They might ask how the person is breathing. And a very important descriptive phrase here is shallow breathing.
Shallow breathing. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, shallow breathing means the breaths are weak and not deep. The air is barely moving in and out of the person's chest.
So they are breathing, but just barely.
Right. It's a simple, universally understood way to describe a very serious medical problem over the phone.
Let's practice this phrase together just to get comfortable with it. I'm going to say it slowly, and I want you, the listener, to practice saying it out loud wherever you are. Okay, here we go. Shallow breathing.
Just take a second to repeat it.
Very good. Now, the operator might also ask if the person is conscious.
Yes. And conscious simply means they are awake and aware of their surroundings.
And the easiest way to check this, without needing any medical gear at all, is to see if they are responding to their name.
Right.
So if you say their name loudly, do they look at you?
And if they don't look at you, you have to tell the operator. The rule of communication in this moment is incredibly strict. You have to keep your sentences short, direct, and factual.
Factual, okay.
Yeah. You should say, she's not responding, her eyes are closed.
Wait, I want to pause and challenge this for a second.
Sure.
Because when you're terrified and the adrenaline is pumping, it's human nature to want to tell the operator the entire story.
Oh, absolutely.
You desperately want to explain the context. You want to say, we were just walking and she said she felt dizzy and then suddenly she fell and I'm so scared, please hurry.
Yeah, that's completely natural.
So why is it so crucial to strip all that emotion away? Why do we have to force ourselves to sound almost robotic?
Well, understanding the why here is so important. The operator on the other end of the line needs actionable information. They need cold facts they can use to dispatch resources.
Actionable information.
Exactly. Staying calm, using short sentences, and removing the emotional story, well, it helps the operator send the exact right kind of help much faster.
So they don't have to sort through all the extra words.
Right. The story of what happened 5 minutes ago is simply less important than the medical fact that her eyes are closed right now.
Facts over feelings. That makes a lot of sense.
It really does save lives.
Finally, before the call ends, the operator will usually give you a directive. They'll say, stay on the line.
Right.
And this just means don't hang up the phone. Keep the call connected.
Staying on the line allows the operator to give you real-time guidance. They can walk you through basic first aid while you wait.
Like CPR or something.
Exactly. And you can give them updates on the patient's condition before the paramedics finally arrive.
Let's practice understanding that phrase because it is an instruction you really need to follow. Stay on the line.
Try saying it out loud.
Excellent. Now, calling an emergency operator is the right move if you have a working phone.
Yes.
But let's imagine a different scenario. What if you're traveling? Your battery dies, you are hopelessly lost in a maze-like city after dark, and you have to rely on a total stranger on the sidewalk.
This is a scenario almost every traveler dreads.
It's so stressful.
Very. So when you approach a stranger for help, the best strategy is to open with immediate context.
Immediate context.
Yeah, you should start by saying, I'm lost, and my phone just died.
I really like that approach. Because by starting with, I'm lost, and my phone just died, you're answering the stranger's questions before they even ask them.
Exactly. They immediately understand why you're bothering them.
Right. And they don't have to view you with suspicion or think, why don't you just check your own map?
Precisely. Once you've provided that context, you should use a dual request strategy.
A dual request strategy. What's that?
It's when you make a request that gives the stranger two options. For example, you could say, could you help me call for a taxi? Or point me toward the nearest police station.
Wait, let me question this dual request strategy.
All right, go ahead.
If I'm highly stressed and lost, shouldn't I just make one very specific demand to keep things simple? I mean, why should I offer two completely different options, like calling a taxi or finding a police station? Doesn't that just complicate the conversation?
I see what you mean. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's actually deeply rooted in human psychology.
Really?
Yeah. If you walk up to a stranger in the dark and demand, call me a taxi right now, well, they might feel trapped or suspicious.
Oh, true. They might not want to take out their phone.
Exactly. They might not have it on them, or they might just feel uncomfortable pulling it out in front of a stranger. But if you offer two reasonable options, It gives the stranger flexibility.
Flexibility.
Right. It makes them feel comfortable and far more willing to assist because they get to choose the easier way to help you. They don't feel backed into a corner.
Oh, I see. You're giving them an out while still getting the help you need.
Exactly.
That's incredibly smart. Let's look at the vocabulary in the second half of that sentence. Point me toward. Point me toward the nearest police station.
Yes. Point me toward is a wonderful, highly practical phrase. You're simply asking for a general direction.
Right.
You just want them to literally point their finger so you can start walking the right way. You are specifically avoiding overwhelming step-by-step instructions.
Like go straight for 2 blocks, turn left at the pharmacy, then take your third right.
Exactly. Nobody remembers that.
No, especially not when you're stressed. Your working memory just shrinks. You can't remember complex, multi-step directions in a foreign language.
Not at all.
You just need to know which way to start walking. Point me toward, let's practice this one.
Yeah, imagine you're stopping a friendly-looking stranger on the street.
Point me toward the nearest police station.
Take a second and say it out loud.
Great job. Now, asking a stranger for help requires a two-way conversation. You speak, they respond. But sometimes there is no conversation at all. In a fire or a building evacuation, you will be chatting. You'll just hear urgent instructions from a blaring alarm system, or you'll have to shout things to a panicked crowd.
Yeah, and in those moments, language changes completely. You'll hear automated voices over loudspeakers, and all the rules of polite conversation just go out the window.
Oh yeah, totally. I always compare alerting others in a fire to a bright red stop sign on the road.
Ah, that's a good comparison.
Thanks. I mean, a stop sign doesn't say, "Excuse me, if you don't mind, please bring your car to a halt."
No, it certainly doesn't.
It just says SAOP. The language we use during an evacuation shouldn't be polite, and it shouldn't use complex grammar. It has to be instantly understood by anyone, even if they only hear a fraction of it over a very noisy siren.
That's exactly how safety language is designed. Short, repeated phrases matter far more than full, polite sentences.
Let's decode a couple of the announcements you might actually hear from a loudspeaker at a hotel or an office building.
Yeah.
The first one is crucial to understand immediately. This is not a drill.
Ah, yes. A drill is a scheduled practice exercise. So schools and large offices often practice their fire escape routes when there's no real danger.
Right, everyone just calmly walks outside.
Exactly. But if the automated voice on the speaker says this is not a drill, it means the emergency is real. There is an actual threat in the building.
You cannot ignore that phrase. So let's practice it so your ears are tuned to hear it. This is not a drill.
Say it with us.
Another common instruction you'll hear is, do not use the elevators.
Yeah. And the reason for this instruction is simple but deadly serious. During a fire or a structural emergency, buildings often lose power.
Right, the lights go out.
Yes. And if you are in an elevator, you can easily become trapped between floors that are filling with smoke. The stairwells are always the required safe route for escape.
That makes total sense. Now, what if you're the one who discovers the danger? What if you wake up in your hotel, open the door, and see smoke in the hallway?
That's when you have to be the stop sign.
Exactly. Remember the stop sign. Use short, direct, repeated phrases to alert the other guests. You can just shout, "Fire! Everyone needs to get out now."
Or if you smell something dangerous in an apartment building, you can shout, "I smell gas. We need to leave the building immediately."
Notice there's no please, or excuse me. You just deliver the direct command.
That's perfect. So we've covered the broad scenarios, handling phone calls, asking strangers on the street, and dealing with evacuations.
Right.
Now let's build a specialized toolkit. We're going to look at specific phrases for unique threats you might face, particularly while you're traveling abroad.
Oh, this is great. Where should we start?
Let's start with a specific, very time-sensitive medical threat, a severe allergy.
Yeah.
If you're at a restaurant and accidentally eat something dangerous to you, the phrase you need is, "I'm having an allergic reaction. I need an epinephrine injector."
Let's explain that. An allergic reaction is when your body's immune system overreacts to something usually harmless, like a peanut or a bee sting,
Right, and it can cause your throat to close.
which is terrifying. And an epinephrine injector is a common medical tool. It looks like a thick plastic pen with needle inside. And it stops the reaction and saves lives.
Many restaurants and first aid kits have them now.
So the phrase again is, "I'm having an allergic reaction."
Next is a crime scenario. Unfortunately, a very common problem for tourists in crowded cities is pickpocketing or theft.
It really is.
The most effective phrase is, "My bag was just stolen. I need to report it to the police."
That's a great sentence. It clearly states what happened in the past tense and directly states the specific help you need right now.
What about broader international issues, though?
Oh, good question. If you're traveling and you lose your passport, or maybe you find yourself facing a serious legal or safety issue in a foreign country, local police might not be enough.
No, for serious international issues, you need to contact your embassy.
Your embassy.
Yes. An embassy serves as the official diplomatic headquarters of your home country, located in the foreign country you're visiting.
So the phrase you need is, I'm a citizen of, and then your country. I need to contact my embassy.
That's a vital piece of vocabulary. An embassy is essentially a little piece of your home country's soil abroad. They are literally there to help their citizens.
Let's do a quick learning focus on this travel phrase. I want you, the listener, to practice filling in the blank with the name of your own home country.
Yeah, give it a try.
I'll start, and I'll pause for you to say your country's name out loud. I'm a citizen of.
Just put your country right there.
I need to contact my embassy. Let's practice that second half. I need to contact my embassy.
Say it out loud.
Excellent work. Now, we've talked about fires, stolen bags, and medical emergencies. But what if nothing inherently bad has actually happened yet?
What do you mean?
What if your instincts, like your gut feelings, are just telling you that something is wrong with a person or a place?
Oh, and
How do you ask for help without sounding crazy?
well, this is a very real situation, especially for solo travelers. You do not have to wait for a disaster to unfold to ask for help. There's a very powerful, universally understood phrase for this exact moment. You just say, I don't feel safe here. Could you help me get somewhere safe?
I don't feel safe here. That's incredibly useful. It's a clear, direct way to communicate your concern to a police officer or a shop owner or maybe a hotel receptionist.
Exactly. Long before a situation escalates into a full emergency.
And it explains your internal feeling without requiring you to prove that a crime is currently happening, you know?
Yes, and it triggers people's protective instincts to help you.
We're now reaching the final part of our deep dive today. Speaking through the adrenaline.
This is so important.
We've gone over the vocabulary, you know the English words. But sitting in your comfortable living room learning these words and physically speaking them out loud while you're absolutely terrified are two very different experiences.
That's the undeniable truth of survival. When you're in a real emergency, your body floods with a hormone called adrenaline.
Adrenaline, right?
Adrenaline makes your heart race. It gives your muscles the energy to run or fight.
Which is helpful.
But adrenaline also makes it significantly harder to think clearly and speak smoothly, especially when you're trying to use a second language.
Wow, yeah. So knowing that our bodies are going to react this way, what are the actual mechanics of speaking under pressure? Like, what should our listeners physically do in that moment?
First, you have to consciously force yourself to speak slowly and clearly.
Even though you want to rush.
Exactly. It will feel completely wrong because your brain is screaming that you need to hurry, but speaking slowly actually helps the other person understand you faster.
That sounds like a paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking slowly makes the help arrive faster. But it's true. If you panic, speak too fast, mumble your words, and the operator doesn't understand your English, well, you're going to have to start the entire conversation all over again.
Which wastes precious time.
Exactly.
And second, it's always a good idea to repeat critical information. If you tell the emergency operator your street location and you're unsure if they understood your accent or your English, simply say it again.
Right. Repeat the type of help you need. And this brings us right back to our fire extinguisher analogy from the beginning of our lesson. Adrenaline makes it harder to speak, which is exactly why these specific phrases must be memorized before you ever need them. You want them to be an automatic reflex.
So let's quickly recap the core frameworks we've learned today, just to cement them in your memory.
Yes, let's review. First, for the emergency phone call, state the specific help you need, plus the factual state of the emergency.
I need an ambulance, my friend has collapsed.
Keep it short and keep it factual.
Second, for asking strangers for help on the street, give immediate context and offer flexible options.
I am lost and my phone died. Could you call a taxi or point me toward the police station?
Third, for fires and evacuations, use short, repeated phrases. And always remember that the phrase, "this is not a drill," means the danger is real.
And fourth, for specific threats, state your situation clearly. For international travel issues, always remember to state your citizenship and ask to contact your embassy.
We highly recommend coming back and reviewing this specific audio lesson occasionally, just to keep the vocabulary fresh in your mind.
It's so important to keep these words active.
Definitely.
Before we finish up today, I want to leave you with a final thought. This wasn't in any of the textbooks or source materials we use today, but it's something really important to ponder on your language journey.
Oh, I'm listening. What's your thought?
Well, when we learn a new language, like English, we usually practice for moments of deep connection.
Right, like making friends.
Exactly. We learn how to make new friends, how to order delicious food at a bustling restaurant, or how to negotiate a business deal in a meeting. Language learning is almost always about coming together.
It really is.
But how does our relationship with the new language change when we realize that a handful of simple, well-practiced words might literally be the only thing standing between us and danger?
Wow.
Does learning these emergency phrases actually help us conquer our fear of the unknown when we travel? It's something to think about the next time you're practicing your vocabulary.
That's a beautiful and powerful way to look at it. Language isn't just a bridge for connection. Sometimes it's a tool for survival.
Exactly. Well, we want to thank you so much for practicing with us today. Please, if you know anyone who is learning English or planning to travel soon, encourage them to listen to this specific deep dive. Share it with your friends and family.
We truly hope you never have to use these phrases, but we're proud of you for taking the time to learn them today.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye and take care.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today, learning some of the most essential, potentially life-saving English phrases in this entire series.
If this episode genuinely helped you, subscribe for more English learning podcasts like this one. And please share this specific episode with anyone you know who might genuinely benefit from having these phrases ready and familiar too.
We'll see you in the next episode, and please stay safe out there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.